set those left. All right, here we go. It is time to continue gator painting. Okay, let me get the zoom out of the way first. Hold on to your butts. Too much. Any good? Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. They're a little less complicated this time. We are going to start painting Mr. Big Gator here. And we're going to paint it in the way that I was talking about in the last stream. The alligator that I remember that I caught on a fishing line 20 years ago. Or no, 30 years ago. Hey, John, how you doing? Greetings. Welcome to the stream. We're going to paint us a yellow tiger striped gator today. Hey, Ironcaster, printing up Samurai Titan. Awesome. Awesome. I have not seen one of those in real life yet. But we are talking about setting up a Titan Smash at Adepticon next year, so I have to decide what Titan I'm going to bring. I don't know. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with black to do some stripes. Awesome. Artillery Titans. Yeah, I got to see the Bear Titan. That thing was impressive. So, if the other Titans are along the same line, woo! The only like official Titan that I have is the mummified undead Titan. The Gators. Oh, dude, playing these is gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna slip right into a swamp people accent. Start talking about them gators. Mm-hmm. Greetings, Mr. Mean. How are you doing tonight? I think I may have diluted down the black a little bit too much. It's okay. That's what second coats are for. This is mostly the reason why I'm starting with the black is because I'm going to be doing the yellow over top of it. And if I did the yellow first, the black would definitely like pool up at the top of it. So we'll just say I'm putting down guidelines for the stripes. Yeah, definitely watered this down a bit too much. That's a belt. All right. All right. I hopefully will be able to do the accent enough to make her proud. I'm not a Louisiana Gator person. I was a South Florida Gator person. Good evening, Stephen. How are you doing today? Yeah, it's kind of. We'll just do every other. Well, maybe more than every other. We'll do the tips. Some of these big ones down here. The sulfuric. Okay. Evening, sauntering spellcaster. How are you doing tonight? What's everybody working on? We've already had news of Titans. Sulphur, Louisiana. Okay. Oh, okay. Decision paralysis. Well, I did a little bit more work to mine. Here, I'll give you a little quick flash because they're drying. I did the oil wash on them. Boom. So they are still wet and shiny. There'll be a few more hours tomorrow before I can play with them. Let's see here. Paint the weapons on lizards to look like wood and obsidian. Cool. Cool. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you. So as much as I want the Gators to win and be awesome, I was out in the garage cleaning some stuff up, and I saw the army that I'm putting them up against, which hasn't been released publicly yet, and I'm like, oh, this might be rough. Well, I've showed it off on the stream before. These guys are going to be fighting against the volcanic dwarves, magma puppies. It might be an uphill fight for them, because we played the game with those against the Phoenixes, and oh dear God. Those puppies were they were mean. Okay, so we got our stripes on. There's not really many stripes I can do, just because there's so much other stuff going on around here. But that's fine. That's fine. If it's subtle stripes, we can work with that. I hit the top of that one, so we'll just take it off a little bit. There we go. Okay, what else do we want to do on here that's black before I dump it? I got some colors I'm going to be doing these glyphs with. Yeah, the Florida Gator stripes, that's what I'm doing right here. We're getting started. Let's put one right across the knee, just because it's a open spot. We'll come in to do more. We'll come in and do more black later. If we need to, we'll just do straight up black paint on there just to make sure it shows. All right. Woo. So, if you guys were on my Discord, you saw that I had a very eventful day. This morning, I delivered a baby this morning, and that's fucking nuts. Well, I didn't really deliver it. I caught it as it was being fired out. Let that one stew for a second. So let's let's talk a little bit about that craziness. Knock on the door at 9 o'clock in the morning. A panic knock on the door, which is crazy. Those are getting more and more normal happening. But a woman was at the door, and if you guys don't know, I'm a maintenance tech at a apartment complex. This woman knocks on the door and goes, "My sister is stuck in a bathtub." Like, okay, and she's in labor. Well, what the fuck? Did anyone? Did you call 911? No. Get on that. Where's she live? Over there. Just points over to the side of the property. 6 buildings in that direction. Like, okay. Couldn't find her in the system. So I was like, listen, you just drive over there and I'll follow you and figure out what apartment you're talking about. So she drives over. I get the apartment. Then I sprint back to my shop, get the keys for it. I get there, open the door. And by that point, things were in motion at that point. And like I said, I don't want to say I delivered a baby. I was more like an innocent bystander that just happened to be there. Well, everyone was freaking out, so I'm like, okay, game time. Get down there, do stuff. Hey, tabletop date night, what's up? How you doing? So, get down there. It's already coming out. And then I just kind of guided it out and then picked it up. And then by that point, I don't know, I kind of went into a time warp. By that point, paramedics ran inside, so I just kind of handed it to him, like, here you go. I don't know what to do. It's not mine. And, yeah. They loaded everyone up, took them to the hospital. And the funny part was, after that, like, my mom called me today randomly. Like, how was your day? I'm like, oh, I got a story for you. And then she was like, was it a boy or a girl? I didn't check. I didn't think to look. So I ended up finding out later. And it was a bouncing baby boy. And mommy and baby are doing fine. And so after everyone left, I'm like, all right, I got drywall to do. So I just did that the rest of the day. Just one more thing to add to the random dad lore that I get to tell. Get to tell my little grot when he gets older. Oh yeah, I delivered baby. And one of the office girls like, have you ever done that before? I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that before. With like dogs. So yeah, interesting day. That was not what I expected to do on a random Thursday. Now I'm here painting a gator with you guys. All right. So we got the big old thing. Let's do his teeth too while we're here. Give them teeth some color. All the other ones I kept them white because it wasn't enough to really care about. Wasn't big enough to register as a different color. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said I didn't really deliver it. I was just kind of I was there at the right time. Hey, hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Russ, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Yeah, the joke going around was, guess what? Now you're a godfather. I'm like, oh, God. And then after everyone left, after the ambulance was gone, baby daddy came out. He lived across the street. He came out like, what happened? I'm like, oh, man, you missed it. You go to the hospital. You could say I fixed the clog. Right. That's enough of these. We're going to do some darker stuff in the recesses there, just to give those a little bit more depth. Well, Russ, that's great. Oh, about the Epic Armies for OPR. I got contacted on Discord. I can't remember the name because it's not sitting in front of me, but there is there's a group that was already starting something like this. It's called like Grimdark Battlefields, and they sent me all the stuff for it. And I went over it real quick, and I'm like, they've already done it. So I feel kind of like I was trying to reinvent the wheel. So I looked over everything they had, and I am going to be doing a video on it eventually. You know, I got a couple things scheduled up, and I am so far ahead with videos that actually reach out there to you guys, like the public release videos. That even if I make it tomorrow, it'll be like a month before anybody sees it. And this weekend I already got scheduled for a 5,000 point game. Yeah, give him my job. My job is so ridiculous sometimes. Like Wednesday, we had again panic knock on the door. What's going on? My stove's on fire. Did you call the fire department? No. Okay. So again, run across the complex, figure out where the smoke's coming from. I asked them, "What's your address?" "Oh, I don't know. It's over there." And they point to a building, and I see smoke coming out the front door. I'm like, "Okay, got it. Running." Ran in there, through the smoke, ran down to the basement, shut the gas off to the stove. Come to find out what had happened was she put it on a automatic self-clean, and there was a pan that she left inside the stove, and the handle melted off. Melted off, went right down into the fire, and caught fire itself. So that was fun. Do this and take this, and we'll get just a little bit. Let's see. Don't screw this up. Yeah, good watered down in there. All right. There. All right. That black is it's not ready yet. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time before I put the yellow on. So let's move on to some straps. And for the tiny little leather straps, we are going to use Satchel Brown. Yeah, I don't want to disparage the people there, but there's an awful lot of people that I don't know. Yeah. Like, they're trying their best. We'll put it that way. I'll do this for the cordage. Yeah, we got. Actually, it's been a crazy month so far. What's it, like 8th? We already had one of our residents. We found her passed out on the floor because she's 80 something years old. Fell over. No one lived with her. And just randomly, one of the neighbors is like, I haven't heard from her. Let's go check. She'd been on the floor for like a week. How do I like the new Orc Marauders so far? Well, the ones I've printed so far, I like a lot, model-wise. And then army list-wise, I've made all kinds of silly lists already. Let's see. I got Nexus is running a Grimdark Future tabletop simulator tournament in June, I think. It's either June or July. And I signed up for that with 3,000 points of Orc Marauders. Bring in the Orc Bikers. So it's going to be lots of shooty Orc Bikers with extra shooty characters attached to every one of the squads. Yeah, the goblins walked away from the orcs and they took all their toys with them. And once more stuff gets put into that goblin list, I have a feeling it's going to be much better. And I agree on the basic guys versus the vets. I think those vets is how all the orc boys should have looked. All right, any more random? Yep, a little bit more random cordage. Armpit cords. It's got to be comfortable. Yep, the game is model agnostic. So if you find other orcs you like, go for it. Yeah, the vets are now normies. There you go. Okay, I think that's it for the chords, and I think our still the black has a couple little dots of wetness in there. And I know if I hit that with yellow, it's just going to smear everywhere. So we're still waiting on the yellow. Still waiting on yellow. Make the current vets vettier. Yes. All right, then we'll go from that. We'll go to hardened leather for the strapping. Might as well do that next. That's a good question, what they're going to do with cave beasts. I don't know. Green berets. Yeah, you're right. They can't just be squigs. We got to move away from the angry meatball look. Even though I love my little angry meatballs. I mean, cave beasts, you make big spiders. I think, yeah, that's metal. Okay. and so is that. So I'll do this. Yeah, I like the facial hair on the orcs. I didn't really enjoy the hats on them. It feels like you lost so much by putting hats on them. But the hair, I like the hair, just no hats. Well, awesome. Yeah, we got the tournament in August, and things are moving along behind the scenes to make sure that we got everything all set up for that. That's why I pushed it out that far, just to make sure the people that wanted to come can come. Yeah, I haven't looked at the trucks that in depth yet. I saw the bikes and just fell in love and got stuck there. But there will be Mad Max orcs again in my future. I've already done the Junker Boys, so I got to come up with something else. Got to pick another Mad Max faction. Who was the Mad Max faction in Fury Road that had all the like the rusty spikes on everything? Were they the Vultures? I think that would be cool. Take those trucks and then just spike them up. Buzzards. Yeah, that was close. Yeah, just paint them rust. So an A-team van towing the DeLorean. That had to be like for a convention or something. Oh, Miss Ella. Okay, it's kind of wild we haven't seen any Havoc factions outside of Demons yet. Yeah, I think because, well, I know for Grimdark Future, I'm pretty sure they want to lay down what the Battle Brothers are before they corrupt them. So that's why we haven't seen any there. And Age of Fantasy, though, that's kind of an open book there. You can do what you want. But I have some cool ideas if they would like to hear. Oop, I'm off camera. See, we got time tonight. Since I'm only doing one model, I can put a little more detail into this. A little bit more than usual, so that's why we're going to go nice and slow. Make sure the colors are dried before I start overlapping stuff. Yeah, I think that's it for leather. Now, we can do that yellow. As I just splashed all that that hardened leather all over me. All right, change up the palette. And then for the yellow, we're going to use good old Zealot yellow. Why? Because I like it. Do a drip of this stuff. Oh, and I've had people ask why I put in the flow aid or why I add some water to it. It's just dilute it to make sure it doesn't pool on the top. Because when I use the speed paints, I'm using it just to tint everything, just to put the color down. Yeah. Like shades and stuff in the recesses, this will still do it, but mostly I'm going to rely on the washes for that, or the oil wash for that I do on everything. Check. Unless you want to have Trader Guard to use HDF. Yeah, that's perfect. Take some Human Defense Force Army, add in some demons, and there you go. See all the Battle Brothers do time apart because I want to see how they differentiate from the 40. Yes, I do. And there is the picture of the Battle Brother. I'm not sure where it is. I think it might be in the source book, the Grimdark Teacher source book. But they said that wasn't just random. That's pretty much the way they're going to be doing their Battle Brothers. At least that was what was said last time I paid attention. See, it could have changed since, but it looks like they're going for a very drawing a blank. There's a video game, played a lot. No, not Deep Space. I forgot. I forgot. I'm terrible. Yeah, I do like how the orcs are different. It's a flavor of orcs that are different from GW. So GW doesn't get butt hurt like they usually do. Oh, speaking of which, I heard today I was listening to the Long War podcast while I was at work. GW did another round of takedowns of like 250 online sellers for using logos and stuff. It's not Helldivers. It's like Endless Space, Deep Space. I don't know. I'm bad. Mostly because I don't have time to play video games anymore. Dead Space, that's it. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, it was like 250 something sellers, like Etsy shops and T-shirt shops and stuff like that. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, man, it looks like GW's been putting out a lot of. They've been letting people use a lot of their stuff. Apparently, they have not let anyone use their stuff. But yeah, this is all. I don't have details or anything. This is just what I heard. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's like they have to go after it for IP law or there's something. They had a justification for it, and a lot of stuff that they did, like a lot of people are disputing it because they used AI to scrape through the internet and find stuff. Yeah, I'm probably still going to have to put down black paint on those stripes just to make them actually look like stripes instead of just dark spots. Yeah. Yeah, oh, they tried. They definitely tried. I remember the first round of GW litigation. There was a woman who had a children's book called, like, The Littlest Space Marine or something, which had nothing to do with GW's IP, but because it used the word Space Marine, they tried. No, this is one of the special characters for the Gators. It came out in one of the firefight, what do I call campaign books, campaign settings. Not firefight, skirmish. Skirmish was not involved and do not understand the hobby community at all. Yeah. Yeah, like Space Marines as a concept and a name has been around forever. But like I said, they tried. They failed, but they tried, and that was all the way back when the chapter house stuff was going on. And I don't know if any of you were around for that. Woo, those were fun times. But yeah, that's why the Imperial Guard is now the Militarum. Sorry, my brain told me shut up. You're getting in close. And the Space Marines are the Adeptus Asteris. Oh, how I kitbashed the Alien Hive's brainy bug boys. I actually did a video on that, where I was just talking about 3D kitbashing, but I have the other one. This is the one from that video. It never got painted because I didn't feel the need to have a second one in the army. So, boop. It is, I used Windows 3D Builder with the head of the Synapse Carnivorex, I forgot what the name is called, a little assault grunt arms, and then the body of a warrior. So yeah, just bash that all together. Reminds me, I was going to ask you. Yep. Yeah, they have blended a lot of pop culture in there. The Astro Miller, what now? But yeah, the chapter house days, those are fun days. Yeah, I did that with Windows 3D Builder, which I've been told now is obsolete or you can't like get it from Microsoft, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet. There's also Blender. I've just never, as I just scraped his head, I've never really sat down with Blender. I need to because I got stuff I want to sculpt, but no time. That's just a full bull ring. Okay. Just like I have a friend that goes, "Why don't you play video games anymore?" I'm like, "Man, because I'm painting all the time. Go away, I'm painting." Yeah, that would be much easier to use. Every time, yeah, that's what happens. Every time I get into Blender, I just get overwhelmed with stuff. I play with it for like an hour and then go, "Oh, I got painting to do." That would be cool. I mean, we've already seen the high elf fleets, so it's going to be, I assume it's going to be some kind of play on the high elf fleets, those models. But, like I said, we were going, the lore is the remnants, so it will be interesting to see what they come up with. So that's something I need, something that just simplifies it down for me. Instead of starting with this is a square. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. No, that's yep. Okay, a little bit more here. See, there's some colors that play nice with each other, like the yellow and the hardened leather. It plays nice with each other. You could run it right over the hardened leather, and it doesn't really matter. Just want to make sure I get it all before I put the yellow away. Oh, my high elf paint scheme. That's just something I took off of the one-page rules lore page. That's their high elf fleet guy that's just standing there on the lore page. Yeah, those stripes, they're kind of coming out. So I'll probably go back in with a just straight black on those, because you say we've lost them all the way down the tail here, or at least, well, actually they show up on camera pretty good, but in real life I'm just looking at them going bleh. Okay, so next we're going to use some Aztec gold. Mix. All right, let's get after it. They do have some pretty nice schemes, but it's like they just give you pictures and they say figure it out. That's fine for me, but I mean some people, they just kind of get, like we were talking about, decision paralysis when they look at colors going, I don't know which one it is. I'm like, I'll get close. That's all that matters. Think I should leave the subtle stripes? All right. There you go. That's a nice looking face right there. That's always the answer. Buy more paint. Well, like I was saying earlier, what you want to do with speed paints is kind of dilute them down either with some water or flow improver, and that way they won't get streaky. Because remember, as soon as you take it out of the dropper bottle, it's already starting to dry. So either you want to use it immediately and on not that big of an area, or you want to slow it down. Yeah, we'll do them cold. Um, I don't use a wet palette for speed paints. You might be able to, but I would worry that it would just kind of hit the wet palette and just kind of disperse. Trying to listen, see, shoot, you have options. Oh, what was that? Go full melee. I begin to question my life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those little silicone pop thingies. My son got a whole bunch of those when he was little, and so I started using those. But then one day he came down here and saw them and was like, "Those are mine," and took them all back. And I haven't used them since. So I mean, those are good. Well, thank you, Greenfeed. Thanks for watching. Now the big thing that I'm not sure about is these big weapons he has. Now, I kind of want to do those as just like big stones. Like he picked them up, like ripped them right out of a temple wall, and he's going to beat you to death with them. What do you guys think? I've done them in the past. I've looked over them, and I've done a video on a few. So if you have a suggestion, I'll definitely take a look. And if it's something that I have something like some models around that are appropriate for it, sure. Obsidian spikes with yeah, okay. Do rock with obsidian. Now, see, that sounds like a good idea, but I don't know what those look like. I've never played RuneScape. Yeah, the Crimson Steel Mechworks. I like his stuff. I got a couple that I've made using these his free models. Just a club with it. Okay, it's just like a like a dark wood. With obsidian teeth. Definitely something we can pull off. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Or jade. Oh, jade is a good one, too. There's so much gold. It's coming out good, though. Jade and turquoise paint on the symbols. Yeah, that could work. Still like the obsidian teeth. Yes, this is the Aztec gold speed paint. So it's got a little tint of green to it. Just a little. And my printer is done over there. It's fine. You can wait, buddy. Well, he's got all these rings everywhere. This guy's blinged out. Okay. There we go. You can sit there. A little preview of the next army coming up that just got finished on the printer. Haha! We are going to be doing some robot legions. Oh, and I have something in my fingers. Put the grass on the Onis. There we go. Just a couple of patches of grass on there. It looks pretty good, in my opinion. I like it. It broke up the bases a little bit. I got the paint on the Cyberbirds that I forgot to print last week because I got so excited for Onis. So yeah, those will be getting recorded in 2 days. Now we're going to do the feathers. We're going to do prismatic bolt because it definitely looks like it came out of a tropic bird. We'll do these just to kind of get those, get some spot of color on there because we are looking awfully monochrome, you could say. Oh, hair. There we go. Thank you, cats. Like an oak colored wood with obsidian teeth, and the raised carvings are painted red and purple. Keep hitting that one spike. There we go. A little splash of color. And for all the gators, all the gator leaders, they all they all killed their own individual parrot. Like this one got a blue one, and then this one got an orange one. It's kind of showing up as brown right now, though. But yeah, he got himself an orange parrot. There we go. Okay, so we're almost there. Almost there. Right. So we will do, in order to get a good oak color, we're going to use dark wood, and I am not going to add anything to it. This is just going to be right out the bottle. Just a little water on the brush. There we go. Swoosh. See, there's that pooling. So we're just going to wick a little of that off. There we go. Print a truck for all the people making everything. They'll paint and equip a truck with factory weapons and special. That sounds cool. Do like orc gaslands. Sounds very cool. Just coat everything. Get in there. Here we go. Well, the bottom of the weapon doesn't really matter. This way I know it'll be done. On the grim darkness of the grim dark, yeah. Yeah, hardened leather does work for a good wood color. But this one, I'm going to go for a dark wood. So there, we'll do the head like that. And then for whoever said jade, we're going to do the back. Like, look at that little rock on the back. That'll do. We'll do jade for that. What is that? Like a pale green. Get him off camera. Keep shifting myself because, you know, I'm a professional. I do this all the time, right? Just want to make sure we get into the cracks with that. My favorite orc color scheme. No, the orc is not going to be wearing a parrot. It's probably going to be, depending on how fancy I want to be that day, it's probably going to be a crow, or it will be something along the lines of like a turkey or a hawk. Just because they have interesting feathers. That was one of my prized possessions growing up as a little kid. For some reason, I got my hands on a turkey feather, and I thought it was the coolest looking thing ever. sure we get in the cracks. Okay, see, it comes out a real nice dark woody color, and I just effed everything up. Pull it off. I can find let's do second coat. There we go. All right, Spry Spot. Thanks for coming around. Have a good rest of the night. Now, pale green. How am I going to do a pale green? I am going to... Okay. Let's take a little orc skin. What's an interesting game concept for a GDF? What do you mean? For a Grimdark Future? A little orc skin. And then we're going to take a little... Okay, the warbossfitz going through all of his paints. It's going to take a minute. Oh, God, I found it. Take a little holy white. Put that in there as well. Give that a mix. See what we come up with. Kind of. A little water in there. Okay, let me aim that down a little bit more. A little water in there. Maybe. Let's see here. Oop. Oh, come on, camera. Ignore the snakes in the background. There we go. There we go. That looks good. The Ratclad disinfecting of goblins. But who's paying the bill? Interesting. Well, I have a campaign that I am setting up for this summer that is going to be High Elf Fleet and the Robot Legion. And it's going to be a High Elf Fleet character that is very upset that he has to do his own laundry. Or very upset about the whole thing that happened with the Robot Legion. So he's going to go try to take a Robot Legion planet back. That should be interesting, to say the least. I should be starting that up here sometime relatively soon. Should be after I do the Robot Legion second go-round in a few weeks. Hey, Dastardly Doug. Yeah, he is coming out pretty good. So we got obsidian spikes to do, and then we have the handles to do. And I'm going to be painting those up there different colors. And I forgot the feathers around his ears. Oh, wait, no, those are scales. Okay, well, I forgot those two. I thought those were feathers when I went through the first time. So, obsidian, just black. Black. Shadowstalker's Eternal Worries. That sounds pretty cool. I refuse to order this. Yes, I was when I was on a stream. I was watching a stream by One Page More, and he was going over the different Grimdark Future factions. And we got to the High Elf Fleet. Pretty much, their whole thing now is they're upset because they have to deal with the pores. So I figured I'd take that and run with it. Yeah, we'll do those black too. Why not? I haven't really looked at the wood elf lore. What's the wood elf lore say? Like I have the this is terrible. Like the lore books they've put out recently. Like I got the Grimdark Future source book and I read that. And then I got the fantasy book and the Eternal Dynasties book, but I haven't had time to actually sit down and read those. Oh, that's a good concept. All right, those are looking pretty cool. All right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, that does sound pretty cool. Get some yellow to do his ear. Bloop. Don't touch the thing. There we go. There we go. Bloop did his ear. All right, so that's done. Okay. Now for the handle, I'm going to do a little bit of sand. Well, let's not do sand golem. Let's do brownish decay for the handle. Just because it's kind of a woody / leathery look. All right. Oh, missed that. I'll just say that's our whole secret. Okay. Okay, now we gotta do are the symbols. And for those, we're gonna do 3 different colors. First, we're gonna start off with dark vermilion. Boop. Touch of water. Just to prove that I occasionally do use something other than speed paints. Not very well, though. hold your breath kind of move here. Hey, Kelvin from Puerto Rico. How you doing tonight? Oh, it's got a little snake head here. I didn't even realize that's a snake head until I put color on it. That angry snake head now. And this is the underside, so we don't have to be too careful. Just get some color on there. There we go. But this one, red, black, and yellow is a nasty snake. Okay. Okay, let's see what we could do with that. Okay. Let's do blue next for the little jag patterns. Yeah, I had to deal with those down in Florida, but my there's a rhyme to it, but my rule pretty much was if you see red, black, and yellow, it doesn't matter the combination, don't F with it. Do some yellow. Okay. Yeah, the Florida swamps are a trip, man. It's where I grew up. It's one of those. Whenever I talk about it, people go, "Oh my God!" I'm like, yeah. Well, when I was living in it, it was just that was just home. You got used to it. Let's see if this will cover. Yeah, it covers. I was not expecting that. go. I don't know if the pythons, I don't know if they're affecting the gator population, but they're definitely affecting the populations of all kinds of stuff. All right, we're going to do some black on there too. We're just going to take our black, just take the top off of it. What do I want to do with that? Get it to a point at least. There we go. There we go, that looks pretty cool. All right, now do we want to touch up any of the stripes? Let's do a little, because they kind of faded out. Do a little bit of stripe touch up. Just a bit. Is there a theme to this lizard? In army minus iguanas, they're all green. Well, this army is 90% gators, and this one in particular is based off of an alligator that I caught fishing pole when I was 10. That was the yellow striped gator. One more stripe right there. let's add some more stripes down here. He's got some big old feet. Need some stripes. There we go. It sells it a little better. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat right now. This is kind of hold your breath and paint time. I don't want to fuck this up. Done. All right, let's look at the live 5 minutes of chat here. Okay, let's scroll back up here now that we are set. All right, nothing quite like a trip to the sea fishing. Yeah, I used to love fishing down there. Snakehead fish on Mascals, they're probably fish. Yep. Is there a theme to this? Yep, we saw that one. Really like the fishing too. I'm not so good at it. There's theme is awesome. So smash. Yep. Ta-da. Focus. There we go. Okay. So what happened in the last stream? I am not really sure what happened in the last stream. As far as I could tell, I was still going. I think just my Wi-Fi crapped out, and the signal. I'm down here in my basement. Just the signal was not reaching me that well. So, occasionally I know it will pixelate and fall out. So I think I finally just had enough on Tuesday. So there we go. We have ourselves a big old gator that is going to be ready to smash stuff. Let me zoom out. Oop, there we go. Smash stuff this weekend. No, next week. I'm a week ahead on these. So here we got all the snakes. And for these, I just went for a brown on the snakes because every snake that I have ever run into in life that has been a dangerous snake has always been like this color with like some other brown striping to it, like the cottonmouths and the diamondbacks and stuff. So that's why I chose just brown with those, just something to keep it simple. Then we have the rest of the gators. Ta-da! Along with the cyberbirds that again I forgot to paint. I forgot to even print those when I was doing the Oni army. I got too excited. And pull up the rest of the Oni army. These guys have their games this weekend. Ta-da! Okay, get out of the way, buddy. Boom. So these will be on the table this weekend. You guys are going to see those in a few weeks coming out. And then for the gators, I'm definitely going to do them in a swamp type scheme for the bases. Throw that out. So I got my fake bear skin that I painted to look like swamp grass. I got all kinds of these bushes. I got palm tree toppers that I ripped off palm trees themselves, so I could do those for fallen logs and things. So they're going to be good. They're going to be covered in bushes and all kinds of other swampy stuff. I got mud and I got gloss Mod Podge somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yep. I got the Mod Podge Super Gloss, so that's where I'm going to do the swampy feet, and that's going to be looking great. So that's going to be it for tonight, everybody. I hope you all had fun sticking around, watching me paint this dude, and then I hope you have fun playing playing OPR wherever you are. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.